Welcome to the Prosperity Podcast for entrepreneurs who are ready to drop the hustle and earn more. I'm your host, Danielle Amos, business and success coach, certified Proctor Institute consultant, and lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I'll bring you amazing entrepreneurs who have built wealth, harnessing the power of their mind. Prosperity and money are truly about energy, and I'm on a mission to help you create financial abundance through the power of thought. It's time we started normalizing conversations about money and create the wealth that is yours. Are you ready? Let's do this. Welcome to episode 177 of the Prosperity Practice, the podcast that has you living your most abundant life. My name is Danielle Amos, and I am your host. Today, I'm pondering the question, is struggle necessary? Are the hard times necessary? The annoying things, the events that we don't really prefer, the problems that are actually opportunities. Are they necessary? Now, my mentor, Bob Proctor, would often remind me that there are so many clues, so much wisdom in nature. And as I ponder this question about struggle and hard times, I think about three examples. Three analogies that actually suggest that the struggle, the pressure, the hard times are actually part of the process, and perhaps they are necessary for our growth, which is the entire purpose of a goal. The reason why you desire something more is not the getting of it. It is the growth that's necessary within you in order to get the thing, to do the thing, to be the thing. It's not about a bigger house or faster car. It's actually about who you get to become in the process of manifesting that bigger house, that promotion, that faster car. And one thing I know for sure is that change doesn't easily happen when things are going well. Change doesn't easily happen when things are going well. There's not a whole lot of growth in doing the same thing over and over and over. There's no growth. There's no reason for you to develop new talents and abilities because you're already rocking it. The hard times, the problem, the obstacle, the pressure, isn't it actually what has you grow? Because in order to overcome that problem, you're going to need to become more resourceful, find new talents, develop new skills to move through that obstacle. So perhaps the obstacles, the problems, the discomfort is necessary for your growth in order to have it all. Now, I'm not saying that we need to wish for problems or hard times. So I'm not saying manifest the problem. However, when there are periods where you're uncomfortable, where you are feeling pressure, where you are faced with an obstacle, perhaps you could change your point of view and be really excited about what's in front of you. Because what if what's in front of you, when you get to the other side of what's in front of you, you've actually grown? That's the the growth that you've been seeking, and on the other side is the manifestation of your desire or your goal. What if? So what if you could train yourself to get like super excited? You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. This is really good. This means I'm growing. And enough of this feeling throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month means faster and faster manifestations of my desires because I'm growing at rapid speed. Now, in my experience, I've needed to regulate my nervous system. Like sometimes the change in the growth, like I'm like, whoo, and I take my foot off the gas a bit. Can you relate to this? Just to like catch my breath. And then I remind myself that I'm playing a huge game. I'm here to impact millions of people, to remind them that there's no need to settle, that they can be, do, and have anything that they desire in their life. And I'm here to remind them of that, remind them of the truth, who they are. And my purpose is big, my mission's big. So perhaps the growth is a match for that. Also big. Now, I've been contemplating this, and I've found three powerful analogies in nature, or three examples of growth in nature. And I'd like to talk to you about them. And I'll go deeper in the prosperity practice subscription episode. So if you'd like to stay along with me, it's only $7 a month, and you get behind the scenes and me riffing deeper on these subjects. So congratulations to all of you that have become our very first VIP subs. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you see the value in this content, that you're willing to invest and really show me that me showing up here is valuable to you. So I really appreciate it. And those of you that aren't yet subs, just go to the link in the show notes and join us. We've got lots of surprises for you this year as subscribers. So the first analogy I've been thinking about is a diamond. So a diamond is actually a piece of coal. And what's interesting, if you think about it, because diamonds are pretty rare, right? Like not every piece of coal becomes a diamond. So in order for a diamond to become a diamond, a piece of coal needs to be put under pressure. And it's a consistent pressure. And that piece of coal, over time of consistent pressure, forms a beautiful diamond. And a diamond doesn't totally look like the diamond. Like it doesn't look like the diamond on my finger right now. It's not all sparkly when it's found. It's actually, it needs to be recognized by someone who's a diamond hunter, let's say, and they understand that all that needs to happen is a little polish, a little bit of cutting of that diamond, and it becomes this beautiful, sparkly stone that we know as a diamond. Think about what a piece of coal looks like, and then look at a diamond. And I should clarify something. So it's not actually the coal that goes to the diamond. It's the carbon that goes, it turns into coal or a diamond. And I'm not really sure if the coal is the second step. Either way, it's this pressure. Like my point is that it looks nothing like a piece of coal doesn't look anything like a diamond. And yet it has that potential. It has the potential, but not every piece becomes the diamond. And so think about this. If the piece of coal or the carbon in the earth that becomes a coal, then the diamond, if not every piece does, well, because most of the coal, for example, is not under a lot of pressure. And so think about this in the world and like allow this to be an analogy for people. Most people, they have problems in their lives for sure. However, do they grow through it? Do they allow it to be what transforms them? Or do they become a victim of circumstance and they release the pressure through like or numb the pressure by like drinking or whatever else to escape TV? Think about this. And then there's the rare few who lean into the pressure, who understand that the problems are opportunities for growth. There are the rare few that don't turn away from their obstacles or the pressure and instead get mentorship, learn, develop talents and abilities. They don't wish that the problem would go away. They wish they were better and they work on that. They are the diamonds and they're rare. However, every person has the potential to become the diamond. Every single one of you listening has infinite potential. Do you choose it? Isn't that so fascinating? I'm a firm believer that nature, the universe, is teaching us her laws through the examples we see. And often, if you quiet yourself, and maybe you're stuck, maybe you're writing something and you are stuck and you've got like a mind block, get quiet and look around in nature and notice if there's a lesson right there that can inspire you and remind you of truth to have you be unstuck. So with this, I also would love to talk about my second example from nature, which would be the butterfly. So I have a program called Metamorphosis, which I did a little over a year ago, because I was going through quite a bit of change in my own life. And I really wanted to understand how to thrive during change. And I did earlier in that year. And interestingly enough, it's continued into 2023. And so I really found my power in embracing the change within and like regulating myself and understanding what was going on. So at the end of last summer, there was a course I gave called Metamorphosis on change and really coping with change and thriving during change. This a big part of the conversation was to look at the butterfly, and a butterfly was a caterpillar. And if you know anything about metamorphosis and the transformation of a caterpillar to a butterfly, it is quite extraordinary. It is really fascinating. So did you know that a caterpillar literally needs to become mush? Like it excretes enzymes that basically eat itself. Like it dissolves the caterpillar in order for a new body to be created. So think about how uncomfortable that must be. I'm going to secrete some acid. So I eat my own, like it eats my own flesh, dissolves my freaking bones so that I can build something new. Well, because we can't build, like if the caterpillar was always there, we can't, there's no room for the butterfly to come. So this is all done inside the cocoon, of course, right? Or the chrysalis. So it's really like quite interesting how it does this. And then it dissolves, or I don't know, goes to mush. And then the new body parts that sustain a butterfly start to develop. And if you think about this, how uncomfortable this must be, because the caterpillar is a certain size in a cocoon, and then you've got this butterfly now being grown inside this cocoon, and it includes wings. And so before it hatches from the cocoon, it's got to be like so stuffed in there, like its wings all cramped and grow. Like, really think about this. Oh, talk about uncomfortable. Now, do you think the caterpillar knows what's on the other side? It's like growing bones. Like, think of when you were a teenager. Like, and you, like, I don't know about you, but my legs killed because I grew so fast. Growing pains, my mother used to call them. Well, think about if you're that caterpillar, like, do you know that on the other side you're going to be this beautiful butterfly? Or are you like, what the heck is happening? Or does a butterfly just have faith and trust? Yeah, probably. And so inside the cocoon, there's like hardly any room, and it's like butterfly face up against the edge of the cocoon, and it's like growing, 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 growing. And then it gets released from the cocoon, and it actually has to dry out before it can fly. And then it spans its wings, and it's this beautiful, elegant, majestic creature that has a completely different point of view. The caterpillar only saw things from a bug's eye point of view, inching along on the ground where everything looked magnificent. A piece of grass may take hours to get up and down. And now this used to be caterpillar can fly and go from place to place quickly, and has a completely different perspective of the world. Wow. And in order to get there, the transformation process was pretty icky, pretty uncomfortable, disgusting at times. So my question to you is like, are you willing to go through the mush? Are you willing to dissolve everything you know in order to embrace something completely new? Are you willing to let go of those old beliefs that no longer serve you in order to become the butterfly with a completely different perspective of life, working easier, not harder for success? Now, and I'm going to go deeper into each of these in the bonus episode for our subscribers. The third example of this in nature is thinking about the pearl. Now, notice how each of these are like beautiful things that we as humans see in nature. So the pearl comes from an oyster, and a pearl is also not in every oyster. It is in some rare, and it is created by the oyster only if an irritant gets inside the pearl shell. Sorry, the oyster shell. So a piece of dirt, or maybe like a worm gets in there and like puts like a bacteria piece of dirt or something, and it's an irritant to the oyster, and the oyster actually has to coat it. And through the coating of it, it then develops into a pearl over time. So think about this. The oyster itself must be like, oh my gosh, I got sand in my shell. Like, this is so annoying. And, you know, the oyster's never had sand in the shell before. So it's got to figure out a way to cope with the irritant, to deal with it. Or perhaps the sand kills the oyster. Think about this in our human existence. We have irritants that come into our life all the time. What do you do with it? What if life's been happening for you, and the irritants that come into your life are opportunities for you to turn those into beautiful pearls? But if you just see it as an irritant and are annoyed, you might flick it off. You might ignore it. You might numb the pain. thinking it's bad. Something's happening to you. I attracted this. What's wrong with me? All these things I've heard before. What if that irritant is there for you to transform it into a beautiful pearl? What if it is an opportunity just not wrapped up in the gifts package? You know, often we say no to things because they look like, they don't come to us with a package in a bow. They look like irritants. And we underestimate the power. Life's happening for you. So this has been my contemplation this morning, and I wanted to share it with you. We're going to go deeper into the subscription podcasts. If you are one of our VIP subscribers, I would love to encourage to join you there for episode 177 plus. If you're not, join us. And either way, please give us the 5-star review. It makes all the difference to this podcast, and share it with others. It's my mission to impact millions of lives. I know that one conversation with me can change your life because I change your perception. And your perception is your world. So it's been my honor to be here with you. This is Danielle Amos. Expect abundance.